Folks, last week I did a video where I reviewed IGN's top 10 fighting games of all time list, and you guys seemed to really love that video. The response to that was super positive, so I thought I would do it again, except this time we're taking a look at WatchMojo. You can see the logo hiding behind my head, and this is a bit of an older list, but I haven't seen it. I'm going in totally blind, and they did top 20. I don't know, it seems like it's going to be hard to come up with 20 fighting games, especially if they're doing one game per series. I don't know. But what do you say we just jump right in and see if WatchMojo knows anything about fighting games? I like WatchMojo's content. I especially like that one lady's voice. She has a very calming, soothing ASMR style voice, so hopefully we can hear some of that. But if you guys like this type of content, it would really help me out if you could hit the like button and maybe subscribe as well. Double check. A lot of people have told me they thought they were subscribed, but then when they look down, it turns out they weren't actually subscribed. So double check for me. It really helps me out, and it helps you make sure that you don't miss any of my future uploads. But with that, let's just hop right into the list here and see what's going on. All right, we're starting out with that Tekken 3 B-roll.
Welcome to WatchMojo. And today
sounds like we don't get the ASMR lady. We get Callum. It's all right, Callum. I'll forgive you. Yo, wait, was that Toy Fighter? Wait, what game was that? Darkstalkers, of course. A lot of people pointed out Darkstalkers was maybe a big omission for the last list. I completely forgot about Vampire Savior when I was listing off my favorite fighting games. I think it probably belongs in my top 4, but it's just so good looking. Power Stone! Is Power Stone a fighting game? It's more of a party game, right? I don't know. Okay, we got Mortal Kombat, of course. Persona 4 Arena. That's a good one.
War of the Monsters.
War of the What is War of the Monsters? I have never heard of this game. This does not look like a fighting game. This looks like a... This is like a brawler, bro. This is like an arena fighter. Is this list gonna be all like arena battlers, like the Naruto games and the Budokai games? Like, I'm a little bit worried. Maybe I should try this. It just doesn't look like a fighting game to me. Alright, they're off to a weird start, man. I gotta be real. They're off to a weird start. Sorry to War of the Monsters fans out there. It doesn't look like a fighting game to me. Okay, Def Jam. This is a fighting game. It's like a fighting game slash wrestling game. I think this counts. And this is a pretty beloved game too. I think some people like Vendetta better, but I think they're both good.
The first Def Jam game was a brutal and badass gem of a brawler. Its sequel, Fight for New York, was so much better. Just like with the first game,
all right.
We just wish GameCube players weren't missing so much of the awesome soundtrack.
Yeah, that was always a bummer on GameCube because the disc held less data.
Power Stone 2.
Okay, Power Stone 2, again. I don't know if I count this as a fighting game, man. I don't. Like, it's like a party game where you fight, you know? It's like Mario Party, like bumper balls, except fighting. I don't know. Power Stone 1 was a little bit closer because it was 1v1 and it was like less crazy with the transforming stages and stuff. But 2, like, is this a fighting game?
The original Power Stone featured a new form
I don't know.
games,
I love it. I love this game, but
tossing items at each other and collecting power-ups to finish each other off.
I feel like we're just getting down to semantics here. Maybe they had to, like, to get 20, they had to, like, stretch out the list. Okay, Persona. This is, without a doubt, this is a fighting game. There's no debate on this one. And I do like this game. This would probably make my top 20, to be honest. It might not make my top 10, but it would probably make my top 20.
Was a surprisingly good spin-off for the Shin Megami Tensei series. Perfectly translates Persona's style and concepts.
I totally agree. Like, it was really cool. They brought in, like, status effects. They brought in the idea of, like, summoning your persona. It's really cool how they tied the fighting game into the RPG. I thought they did an amazing job.
Ultimax make it
And like one more canceling is like the one more like thing in the RPG combat system. It's really cool.
Number 16, Darkstalkers, the Night Warrior.
So why are they putting Darkstalkers 1? Is this like an importance thing? Like it was the first Darkstalkers, so like it made the biggest impact? Because it's definitely not the best Darkstalkers game, man. It's so slow to go back to, and like a lot of the really cool like combos and stuff weren't in the game yet. Darkstalkers 1. I would put Vampire Savior probably in the top 10.
For a time, Capcom was one of the giants of the fighting game genre, particularly in the 90s.
For a time... Is this some shade? This video is less than a year old. Capcom is still one of the giants, bro. I mean, I know it's been a while since SF5 came out, but that game's pretty popular.
In addition to the full realization of one particular
but the
franchise,
90s were
Capcom
kind of the
created
peak. The
another
90s, early
fighter that
2000s.
featured more of a horrific yet goofy aesthetic.
That was probably Capcom's peak, but still, they're still one of the giants, man.
Number 15, the King of Fighters.
Dude, I'm telling you, KOF 13 has so much cachet amongst the casuals, man. Casual players love this game so much. I love it too, but like, I think if you asked a bunch of people on the street, like, hey, like, what do you think is the best King of Fighters game? I think most of them will say, I don't know what King of Fighters is, but those who know will probably say 13. It's just the most remembered, I think. And it could be because of the graphics. I think that might be why.
One of the best entries in this juggernaut of a franchise. This is largely due to its streamlining much of the motifs present in its predecessor, and in its place applying refined versions of some of the series' more popular features.
Did it though? Did it though? I don't know. In a lot of ways, I think it complicated some things from the I don't really think it streamlined that much, man. This was a hard game. You guys really think this is a streamlined? I think 14 and 15 they streamlined a little bit, but this game is hard, man. I don't know.
Doesn't take away from its beautiful visual style and vastly improved controls. Fans will most certainly get a kick.
Vastly improved controls. What is vastly improved? Can someone explain? Maybe I'm the dumb one here. What was improved about 13? They're the same. The controls have always been the same, basically. I'm sure they made like some super inputs different and stuff, but it's the same KOF controls. What's vastly improved?
Many crazy, colorful combos. Not to mention,
what am I missing?
Chance to check out Mai's magnificent set of
Bruh.
techniques.
Bruh.
14.
All right, it's fine.
Injustice
Injustice 2. You know, I might have preferred Injustice 1 other than the Superman debacle when he was really overpowered. Do you think people prefer 1 versus 2? I don't actually know. 2, the graphics are crazy in 2 though, man. Look how good this game looks. Holy crap.
NetherRealm Studios was tasked with creating a DC fighting game. Nice. Pepperoni.
That's a good looking pizza, man. I always said that cartoon pizza looks better. Project Justice. Wait, was this the game that we saw earlier that I said was Toy Fighter? I'm sorry.
Crossing our fingers for Project Justice or rival schools
the
in general
footsies?
to be revived.
Yeah, it'd be cool to see rival schools come back, but I don't really think it's gonna happen.
Number 12.
Like, we still haven't seen Darkstalkers come back, and people actually remember that game. I feel like only really hardcore people remember Project Justice. Sam Show, huh? Yeah, that's fair. This is a great game.
Needless to say, Samurai Shodown perfectly replicates those classic samurai duels we've seen across TV and
Bro, the
movies,
heavy slashes.
offering a complex and risky combat system.
The heavy slashes are so dangerous.
Number 11, Tekken.
All right,
3.
Tekken 3. You know, IGN put Tekken 7, which that makes sense, but like Tekken 3, in terms of like importance and like mainstream attention, Tekken 3 was so huge, man. This game felt so futuristic at the time. Like the fact that this is on PS1 is so crazy for how good it looks and how many characters are in it. It's insane.
This set the standard for all Tekken games that followed. And
Yeah, I agree. I think this could go higher, to be honest.
The original PlayStation. We'll just forget that Tekken Ball was ever a thing.
Tekken Ball is sick, bro. Don't smack talk Tekken Ball.
Number 10, BlazBlue.
Yo, BlazBlue, another one that did not, the BlazBlue franchise did not make IGN's list, much to the chagrin of some viewers. I think if you're going to put a game on from BlazBlue. It should be Central Fiction. From what I've played, I think this is for sure the best one.
Central Fiction. Seeing a Switch port in 2019,
that's true.
Planning to implement rollback netcode for the stream version in 20.
Did he say the stream version? I think you mean the Steam version, bro. Dude, that character 9 is such a problem, bro. DOA 5, another franchise that was not on the IGN list. So we're in the top 10 now. Who do we think is who's gonna get snubbed? Because someone's gonna have to get snubbed with BlazBlue and DOA making it on here. Like, are we not gonna see Killer Instinct? I don't know. I think number 1 is probably gonna be a Street Fighter game, and number 2 is probably gonna be a Guilty Gear game. That's my prediction. Or maybe Marvel. Marvel will be up there too, I'm sure. But it'll be interesting to see what doesn't make the cut. I'm not really a big DOA guy. I think technically these games tend to be pretty impressive.
Is known to be the superior rendition in the franchise, expanding upon the cosmetic customization.
It's crazy seeing Mai with like actual good graphics and not KOF 14 and 15 graphics. No offense, but she looks so good in this game.
And bringing the frame rate to 60 frames per second.
Were the old games not 60? Am I wrong? I thought the Dreamcast games were 60, weren't they?
Humor and sexiness that Dead or Alive has been known for.
Heyo, Mai is really carrying this list, man.
One can see why folks have flocked back to last round.
This guy really likes Mai, or whoever wrote the list. I don't think the narrator is the same person as whoever writes the list. Okay, Mortal Kombat. It's about in the same spot as where it was on IGN, right? Wasn't it like 9 on IGN?
This is how you relaunch a franchise.
Or maybe it was 10. I'm gonna have to cut this. I'm gonna get demonetized.
Soulcalibur 6.
Soulcalibur, another one that was missing on IGN's list, guys. Someone big is getting snubbed here. Something huge is getting snubbed because now they've had 3 in the top 10 that were not on IGN's top 10. But 6 is an interesting choice. I like 6. But I think my favorite Soulcalibur games are probably 1, 2, and 5, personally. But Geralt was really cool in 6. That was for sure.
Look, Soulcalibur 2 will always have a special place in our hearts. For
2 is the one.
And inclusion of weird guest characters. However, Soulcalibur 4 managed to blow everything out of the water. In addition to strange guest characters like Geralt of Rivia, 2B.
But he just said 4, right?
Soulcalibur 4.
All right, I know that WatchMojo makes like 5 videos a day or whatever, but you should proof watch some of these, proofread or the editor needs to take a look at this one again because there's been a few things like that.
2B and Samurai Shodown's Homaru, Soulcalibur 4 featured insanely deep character customization.
I wouldn't begrudge anyone for saying 6 is their favorite Soulcalibur. All right, KI, no snub. Let's go. KI is sick, man. I love this game.
Killer Instinct provided the same level of hyperactive action fans knew it for, while also incorporating tools and tutorials that helped ease new.
Gargos is so cool. Everybody hates this character because he's like so oppressive, but he is so cool, man.
Into the game, regardless of when they jumped in.
A lot of games do not have characters that cool. Dude, and the way the music of the Ultras syncs up, oh my god, it's so good.
Number 5.
Skullgirls, okay, Skullgirls getting pretty high up there, man. Number 5.
The online netcode is some of the best on the market. The addition of new characters expands on new ways to play while offering unique mechanics. And the hand-drawn animation and art style make it one of the most beautiful fighting games you can get.
True.
You're mine.
Yo, shoutouts to Skullgirls, man.
Number 4. Dragon Ball.
Dragon Ball, pretty high up there. Pretty high up there again. This is the top 10 is very similar to IGN, but I know there's going to be some big snubs. But Dragon Ball, I mean, I think it goes without saying. This game is just like so hype. You don't need to know what you're doing. You can just press buttons and the game is so hype. And it's good at high level.
Been a Dragon Ball game with as much love and care put into it as Dragon Ball FighterZ.
Dragon Ball FighterZ?
output.
Is that what he said the first time?
Dragon Ball FighterZ.
He did. He said Z both times, huh? Dragon Ball FighterZ. I mean, that's fine. A lot of people make that mistake. But it's just fighters. In the game, they say fighters.
And feel of the anime. Number 3, Street Fighter.
We're going 2! And we're going to the World Warrior. It's so strange to me how, like, some of their picks are obviously because, like, it was a big deal, right? Like, Tekken 3 was a big deal. Street Fighter 2 was a big deal. Darkstalkers 1 was a big deal. But, like, why pick Soulcalibur 6? Soulcalibur 6 was not as big of a deal as 1 or 2. Like, not even close. So I don't really get why... I don't know. It is what... Obviously, Street Fighter 2 is a good game, too. But, like, the World Warrior is, like, really broken by today's standards.
The World Warrior.
So, I don't know. It's also slow. World Warrior feels a little bit slow to go back to these days.
The second game was faster and more visually impressive while allowing players to string attacks together. It set the scene for competitive gaming as well, with some organizations still holding tournaments of the game to this very day.
Not for World Warrior. Ain't nobody holding tournaments for World Warrior, bro. They're holding them for Super Turbo.
Street Fighter 2, age has only strengthened it.
But I guess they're just counting all the Street Fighter 2 games as one. That's kind of what it seems like to me. Let's go! Okay, this list is better than IGN. They put Marvel. So number one going to be Guilty Gear? That's crazy. Is number 1 going to be Guilty Gear Strive? There's no way. What haven't they done yet? I feel like Guilty Gear is like the only big one I can think of they haven't done. Unless they're going to do like Capcom versus SNK 2. And then Guilty Gear gets completely snubbed? No, it's got to be Guilty Gear number 1. But Marvel 2 at number 2, that's a good one. That's a good pick. That's a great pick. This game is goated.
New Age of Heroes.
Thank you, WatchMojo guy.
Massive roster containing...
I like how he's like the massive roster and then they don't have anyone unlocked. If you don't have anyone unlocked, it's only 24 characters. But once you get everybody, it's 56, 54, something like that. It's a boatload once you unlock everybody.
Everyone from Spidey to Ryu and every A to C list character in between, along with its iconic art style, this was undoubtedly Marvel and Capcom's biggest bout. Number 1, Super Smash Bros.
Oh. Okay, I get it. The IGN list didn't have platform fighters because they were like, we'll do platform fighters as its own list. I get this as number 1. Obviously, I don't personally agree, but I get it. I think this is fair to have as number 1. And in terms of like the amount of stuff in the game, I don't think any game beats Ultimate. Ultimate has 1 million characters. It has 1 million modes. It has a long single player. It has like 17 single player modes. I get it. There's everything in this game. It's crazy. But did they really snub Guilty Gear? They put BlazBlue on the list and not Guilty Gear?
Between the extensive selection of stages,
there's so many stages. There's so much. It's crazy. It's so big.
Game modes and how Spirits throws in more characters from various IPs.
All right, you know, let me just double check. Was there truly no Guilty Gear? Bro, like, having BlazBlue and Persona, but no Guilty Gear is kind of wild. I mean, they even had, like, some weird picks, like, yo, Project Justice, War of the Monsters on the list, but no Guilty Gear? That is crazy. And I would understand if you're like, well, Guilty Gear is so niche, only hardcore people know about Guilty Gear. But they put BlazBlue on the list. Guilty Gear is way more mainstream than BlazBlue. So, yeah, kind of a chaotic list. I gotta say, it's pretty chaotic. We have these really weird picks like War of the Monsters and Def Jam. They had the way more, you know, traditional picks like Dragon Ball, like Marvel. And then there were also the weird choices of like why they chose specific games in the franchise. Like, why pick World Warrior over the versions that are like more played now? And then at the same time, why pick like Soulcalibur 6? I don't really get some of these choices. So I think overall, I thought IGN's list was a lot better. But once we got to the top 10 of this one, I think they were mostly pretty reasonable choices. Once this one got to the top 10, I was like, okay, these all pretty much make sense, even if I do think Guilty Gear was a big snub. And it was cool of them to include Smash. Obviously, all the comments on my IGN video were like, where's Smash? So, you know, obviously, I think it makes sense to count this game amongst one of the best fighting games. I would probably put Street Fighter and Marvel above Smash. But, you know, it's still a great game. And yeah, like in terms of stuff in the game, Smash Ultimate, it's just unreal. But I want to hear what you guys have to think. What'd you think of the video? Did you like IGN's list better? Did you like this list better? Let me know what you think down in the comments, and let me know if there's more videos like this that you'd be interested in having me review. And I'll link up on screen here in case you missed the IGN review. I'll link it right here, and you can check that out. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good one.